There was plenty of drama after the goals in that game against Huddersfield back on New Year's Day 2007. The visitors had 2 men sent off. And Rovers' Gareth Roberts also received his marching orders. But a 3-0 win was a great start to life at the Keepmoat. And speaking of impressive stadiums, soon Rovers were looking to book their place at Cardiff's Millennium Stadium for the Johnston's Paint Trophy final. But first, they had to get past Crewe in the two-legged Northern final.
I went to the first leg at Crewe, Gresty Road, and Crewe were on a decent side then. And it was a great game. It was 3-3 in the end. Again, we were 2-0 up. Stocky scored a screamer. And I said to Dick Watson at half-time, I said, you know, 2-0 up, you never know in this game. And he said, I know. And we finished 3-3, which we're fairly happy with, but because we thought, well, you know, we've got a home game to come.
Well, if tonight's second leg is half as exciting as the first one a fortnight ago, which ended 3-3, then we are in for an absolute cracker. It has to be settled tonight. 3-3 from the first leg. Who would predict what's going to happen tonight? Doncaster have started pretty brightly, a little bit careless there though. It's through to Varney, and Varney might be able to punish Doncaster, and he does. It was slack work in midfield, and Luke Varney makes it 23 for the season for Crewe Alexandra, who lead 1-0 on the night, 4-3 on aggregate. Well, it was sloppy by Doncaster. No doubt at all that Varney was clearly onside, and Ben Smith tried to narrow the angle, but the ball was in the back of the net very, very quickly. Well, it's disappointment that for Rovers, who had been the better team up to that goal, but Crewe Alexandra are in front by 1-0. The prolific Luke Varney again. Ten minutes to half-time. Crewe leading 1-0 on the night. It should go for a goal kick. Oh no, it won't. It's 2-0. Gary Roberts made sure that didn't go dead, and he's hooked it in, and Ryan Lowe has made it 2-0, and it's a 2-goal cushion for Crewe Alexandra. Well, I'm convinced there the Rovers thought that was going to go dead, and it's a virtual tap-in for Ryan Lowe. Couldn't miss that. Rovers desperate to try to get back into this game. Just past the hour mark. Price, a little bit scrappy, a shout for handball in there, nothing given. Heffernan! And Doncaster are right back in the contest. It's his third of the tie, his 7th in the competition, and Doncaster fans start to believe once again that they could be heading to Cardiff. Well, there was a little bit of scruffy play inside the penalty area, a shout for a handball. I'm not convinced it was, but Heffernan has squeezed that in brilliantly. You'll get a better view of it from behind, just how tight an angle that it was, with a number of players around him as well, and he squeezed it in past 2, and the goalkeeper couldn't get anywhere. Decent cross, is it? It's just a little bit too far. Jason Price goes scampering, and can he keep it in play? He has done. Now, can he find a teammate? Well, he seemed to be held back there. He's certainly held back there. It's a penalty. A golden opportunity for Doncaster to get back on terms. Billy Jones has dragged him down. Well, there was a foul there outside the area with that shirt tug, and then a second, more decisive one there. And Billy Jones protests, but there is no case for the defence at all. Now, Crewe are also arguing that the ball might have gone out of play there, but Jason Price has kept it in. The linesman was only a yard or so away, and he decided that it was in play. Remember, the whole of the ball has to be over the whole of the line, and it's a chance for Paul Heffernan to get his 4th goal of the tie. Well, he's brought them back into contention. Can he bring them back level? He can! It's 2-2 on the night. It's 5 all on aggregate, and with 10 minutes remaining, who's going to be booking their ticket to Cardiff? In fact, I think the referee might want this penalty to be retaken. The celebrations are going to be cut short, and Heffernan is only now realising it. You can see there was some encroachment there, so the penalty will be retaken. Referee Trevor Kettle just explaining exactly why. And Jason Price was one of those who had stepped into the penalty area. So Heffernan, yet again, to face Ben Williams. It's becoming a regular contest, this. Different direction, but same outcome. 2-2, 5-all on aggregate, and this time the celebrations are for real. And Sean Thornton jumping in celebration there, missed a couple of good chances earlier, and Heffernan kept his cool, and although the keeper almost got there, the precision was enough to make it 2-2, and I think she knows it's in by the crowd reaction. We're inside the final minute. Thornton sending it in. Coppinger is in there as well. Here's Price. Oh, it's blocked. Price again. Yes, it's 3-2. And surely now there's going to be no comeback for Crewe. For the first time on the night, Doncaster Rovers are in front. They lead 3-2, 6-5 on aggregate, having come from 2-0 down. An astonishing second half performance. Heaven knows what Sean O'Driscoll said at half-time. Well, some of the fans half an hour or so ago may be thinking that they would not be heading to the final at the Millennium Stadium, but I think they can now start booking their tickets. Didn't really seem to be too much on, but Coppinger, he found Price, he mishit it, came straight back to him, and he wasn't going to miss at the second time of asking from such a close range. First effort was difficult enough, but it was casual with his left foot to send, surely now, Doncaster Rovers to the Millennium Stadium. How much time is there remaining? Well, it doesn't matter as far as Doncaster are concerned, because the final whistle goes, and that late strike from Jason Price has sent them to the final at the Millennium Stadium in Cardiff. They'll be playing either Bristol City or Bristol Rovers, but they won't be caring about who the opposition is going to be. They're just happy to be there themselves. The 2 goals early in the second half from Paul Heffernan set them on their way. He's got 4 in this tie now, which is one of the most extraordinary games that we've ever seen in this competition. But the icing on the cake came from Jason Price in the very last minute. The Crewe manager, Dario Gradi, cuts a forlorn figure as he walks off to the dressing room. For Doncaster players and supporters, the party is just about to begin. It's finished Doncaster 3, Crewe 2 on the night, 6-5 on aggregate.
But the home game was a nightmare for me because I was in Cape Town, so I had to listen to it. I managed to get a radio connection via the internet, but I was 5 minutes behind. So, and we were 2-0 down at one stage in that. Anyway, we got back to 2-all, and then I got this phone call, and it was 2-all because I didn't know I was 5 minutes behind because of the satellite delay. Someone rang me and said, we've won in a fantastic. I said, no, we haven't. There's 5 minutes to go. I said, we've won. It's all over. And I thought, oh my God. And then I realised that there was a delay of 5 minutes.
Well, there may be 1 or 2 nerves, 1 or 2 tummies with the butterflies in them as the players prepare to go out into the bright sunshine of the Millennium Stadium. For Doncaster Rovers, 6 weeks on from that dramatic night against Crewe Alexandra, appearing in a cup final has become a reality. So Doncaster Rovers against Bristol Rovers, and Doncaster will kick off as favourites given their higher league status, but that'll count for nothing. Likewise, the fact that Bristol Rovers have round about twice as many supporters as Doncaster do, probably something to do with the proximity of their club to the Millennium Stadium.
Well, we took about, I think, just over 20,000, and which, when you consider, you know, it's not the biggest cup of all, and the fact that it was in Cardiff was a long way. It was great effort. Although Bristol had 40,000 because it was just down the road from them. So 60,000 there, great atmosphere. And it was just wonderful for everyone connected with Doncaster Rovers, particularly the ones that have been with me, you know, the Stuart Highfields, the Dave Parkers, that, you know, that have been with me, you know, Paul Mays, right from the beginning. And I've been through all the horrible, turgid years of the conference, although I've got great respect for the conference as a league. This was our day in the sun, another day in the sun after Stoke, and it was a nice sunny day as well. We had a wonderful time. We stayed at a lovely hotel in Cardiff, and we went down to the ground, and everything was perfect. And of course, even better, because after 5 minutes, we're winning 2-0.
Doncaster trying to get every player to get an early touch of the ball. This is Price. It's a dangerous position. Somehow it's a cleared, but it's in from Jonathan Fort. And after just 43 seconds, Doncaster Rovers take the lead at the Millennium Stadium. And astonishingly, it's the first goal that Bristol Rovers have conceded in the competition all season. Well, what a start for Doncaster Rovers. They are in absolute dreamland. And the Bristol goalkeeper, Steve Phillips, cannot believe what a hash he made of that. There didn't seem to be too much danger at all. There were plenty of defenders back, and then when it was swung into the middle, Phillips has got caught in no man's land together with his defender. It's come to Forte, and he's just had to tap that in to a totally unguarded net. Will he ever score an easier goal? And what a start for Doncaster Rovers. They lead 1-0. Sullivan, a huge pump forward. One bounce, there's a chance, it's a second goal! 5 minutes gone, and Paul Heffernan gets his 21st of the season. Well, it may have been route one, but they all count, and Doncaster lead by 2-0 after just 5 minutes, and it's Neil Sullivan who gets the assist. Well, Paul Heffernan has made scoring goals in this competition something of a right this season. That's 9 now. He was aware, he knew what Sullivan was going to do, waited for the bounce, and Bristol Rovers, they are absolutely shell-shocked. We've been playing 5 minutes, and this cup final might already be over. Well, just look at the joy on Paul Heffernan's face. They couldn't have asked for a better start. Despite trailing by 2-0, Bristol Rovers have been playing some really good football. They've been looking the better side in the early stage of the second half as well, and they've got a penalty. And they've got a chance to get right back into the contest. The foul was on Richard Lambert by Sean McDade, and referee Graham Laws, he's had no hesitation in pointing to the spot. Well, we'll get another look at it here. And as the ball was played in, now was that outside the area? The initial contact might have been. But then there was certainly more contact just on the edge of the 6-yard box. And the shirt was tugged, and that means penalty kick. Richard Walker faces Neil Sullivan. Been so many penalties in this competition this season, and it's just crept in, and Bristol Rovers are right back in the game. It's Doncaster 2, Bristol Rovers 1, and Neil Sullivan is thinking, I nearly got that. Well, nearly wasn't quite good enough. He guessed right, and he was so close. Well, he did get his fingers on it, but could only help it into the far corner. 2-1 to Doncaster Rovers. Still some work to be done for Sean O'Driscoll's side. Just past the hour mark, and Doncaster have been defending quite deep a lot of the time. And they might have more defending to do here now. It might come through to Sammy Igo. It does. It's 2-2 at the Millennium Stadium. And Bristol Rovers have done to Doncaster what Doncaster did in the last round to Crewe Alexandra, and that's come from 2-0 down to draw it up at 2-2. Well, 40,000 West Country football fans are delirious with delight now. They must have been thinking of walking out after 5 minutes when the side was 2-0 down. Well, there were plenty of defenders back there, and Doncaster partially the architects of their own downfall there. And in the end, Sammy Igo has hit that in beyond Neil Sullivan, and 2-2, anybody's game with just over 25 minutes remaining. cataclysmic defending from Doncaster Rovers, and the League Two side are on a high. Sean Thornton to take the corner. It's very, very congested, not just the penalty area but the 6-yard box, aimed towards Lee. It's wide, but it's going to be another corner. The final touch was off for Bristol Rovers defender, and Sean Thornton had hardly moved. Oh, is he going to try a similar kind of tactic? Once again, plenty of bodies in there. Thornton delivers it. There's Lee! It was the same tactics, and this time he's bang on target, and Doncaster Rovers are back in front with 10 minutes to go. They lead by 3 goals to 2, and can Bristol Rovers come back at them again, or is that the Johnston Paint Trophy for Doncaster Rovers? Well, Bristol Rovers can't say they hadn't had warning of what was coming here, because they tried exactly the same thing no more than 20 seconds earlier. On that occasion it was deflected wide, but on this occasion Graham Lee, he has found that bottom corner. It's his first goal since January, and will he ever score a more important or more memorable one? 3-2 to Doncaster Rovers. They've got less than 10 minutes now to hold on for. Well, the Doncaster fans, they're already celebrating. Sean O'Driscoll won't know until the final whistle goes, which it does now, and the cup is heading to Doncaster, courtesy of Graham Lee's late header, and League One superiority has come out on top. Well, they started as favourites. They started in fantastic fashion, 2 goals in the opening 5 minutes, the first that Bristol Rovers had conceded in the competition. They were then pegged back in the second half. The fans have been through an absolute emotional ringer this afternoon, but they're going back up the motorway, all smiles, all celebrations, and for the team, well, they're going back with the cup. But yet again, Doncaster have done things the hard way. You could say they've done it in style. They've certainly put a smile on everybody's face. They don't do things easy, but John Ryan wouldn't have it any other way. So match winner Graham Lee lifts the trophy. It's another very special day in the re-emergence of Doncaster Rovers.
Oh, it means a lot to the players, it means a lot to the club, and as you can see, the fans, it means a lot to them, and it's great, you know, for a club like Doncaster to come here and bring such a big crowd, and I hope you all really enjoy the day, because I'm sure all the players will in there, you know.
Relieved. To go 2 goals up and then get pegged back and just think, well, maybe it's not our day. But this competition's been like that for us all season. We've had a sort of sneaking suspicion that our name's been on this cup all the time. So it's, you know, it's a step in the right direction for the football club. You know, they've won their first major trophy, been to a major final, enjoyed it, and they'll want more.
I've always had a good relationship with Sean. It gets better as time goes on. And you know, because he knows I'll back him. When I say I mean it's now at Doncaster. There's 3 main directors. There's myself as chairman, Dick Watson as vice chairman, and Terry Bramall. It's the 3 amigos. So there's 3 of us now. Where in the past I started with Peter Wetzel, and then I was on my own for quite a few years. All the other board members were always very supportive, and we're always very appreciative of it. But it's the 3 of us now that help the club in the main financially, and that's a great help to me, those 2 particular people coming on board.